I've really been practicing this being deliberate. It's sort of amazing.
Well, nothing less than that feels as good.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So I've been listening for a long time, been doing this thing for a long time, and I realized that I wasn't listening and I wasn't doing. So a year ago, I said, I have one goal, to be happy. And I started, really after that.
That puts everything in perspective, because when your intention and attention is upon the way you feel, now your attention is upon your vibrational climate, your point of attraction. It's upon where you stand, which is everything.
I've gotten happy and I've been so happy and I'm staying happy, and you cannot, no one. It's impossible. And I won the lottery.
Manifestation is fun, isn't it? You win the lottery every time you align with Source. You win the lottery when you line up with infinite intelligence. You win the lottery when you find clarity instead of confusion. You win the lottery as you become stable. In other words, there's so much vibrational content. There's so much vibrational currency that you have access to. Manifestations are good indicators, but that happy emotion is as good an indicator. And when you're willing to say that, you see, because there's a big tripping point with so many people who also want to win the lottery. That's that thing that we were talking about the expanse between the debt and the money that you'd like to have in the bank. If you can win the vibrational lottery, the emotional lottery, which you can do with ease right now, and you win it again, and you win it again, and you win it again, because it's under your control. It's not about anything other than you and 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 you. As you practice that vibrational lottery winning, then all the other winnings, all the other full-blown manifestations of what you want come into you. Your ability to translate it, your ability to be at the right place at the right time, everything is contingent upon your point of attraction, which is evidenced by the way you feel. So a goal to be happy, that's the goal. That's the in the back door, inside work of living happily ever after. So when you decide to take control of how you feel, and you say, let's see, I could be happy or miserable. Let's see. I choose happy. It's not a hard decision. I choose happy. You figured it all out. Good for you.
Not to be missed.
Yeah.
So after I decided that, I was kind of messing with it. And I was like, okay, I won't foster a bad thought for more than 3 minutes. And then I got down to 2. And then I was like, wait a minute. She said 17 seconds. And I'm at 17 seconds now. I won't even 2 seconds.
We're appreciating you bringing up the 17 seconds because we like talking about momentum, because this is a conversation about law of attraction, because you have a point of attraction that law of attraction is responding to. That's all that we're talking about all day, every day. So when you get it, that you have a point of attraction and that you're emanating some signal based upon what's active in your thought process at the time, and that equals your point of attraction, and that more thoughts like it are on the way to it. And you know what we know, that when you hold a thought for as little as 17 seconds, more momentum happens because another thought like it joins it. And then another 17 seconds, more momentum and more momentum. And whether it's a thought about something wanted or unwanted, momentum is happening. You do have control over which thoughts you give momentum to and how much momentum you allow. If it is your intention to feel good, you understand that all the time that you've been living, you've set momentum of desire into motion. And when you hold yourself in resistance to that desire, you don't feel good. When you move in the direction of it, you feel better. You just so often think that you should be able to figure it all out, that you should have all the answers. I know what I want, and I want to know where it is and when it is and who it is and how it's going to come about. We say, don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. Don't demand answers that you are not ready to receive because you haven't practiced the frequency of it enough. Just get general. I know it's going to work out. Things usually work out well for me. I can figure this out. I don't have to figure it out this red hot minute. Things will fall into place well enough. Everything is working out for me. I've been in places like this before. It eases up. It gets better. I know what to do. I can be a deliberate creator. Be general with your statements, but let your statements affirm in the direction of what you want rather than in opposition. And complaining or focusing on what you don't want is affirming in opposition to what you want, and it adds resistance. So when you find vibrational alignment with your financial desires, that feels good. When you find vibrational alignment with who you really are to the depths of your being, that feels even better.
I thank you, and I hear you. And I guess the story is, and it's, it's hard to even talk about because I know it's like resistance. But
well, then don't tell a resistance story.
But here
we told you a vortex story.
Yeah.
And now you want to tell us a resistance story, and we don't blame you because it's vivid and it's probably in Technicolor.
And it is, and that's the piece that I know that I struggle with because it's money. I'm tens of thousands of dollars in debt, and I've been almost unemployed for a year. And it's like, so the money thing for me feels often painful, and
yes.
yet I am aware of the vortex piece.
Yes.
But it feels like,
and
like what you were saying earlier, when I get specific about it, it kicks me out.
And it would seem irresponsible.
It
would seem irresponsible to not address the debt and the money, and yet you cannot be responsible to the vortex and responsible to your reality at the same time. You got to pick one. And if you're responsible to the reality, then you're not in the vortex. And if you're not in the vortex, nothing can change.
And that's where I go back and forth because I feel like I have.
Why would you go back and forth? That's ridiculous. Why would you choose something that won't let the money come over something that will let the money come? Is reality that intoxicating?
No, I hear you, and it's well, there's a piece that.
Well, there's no missing piece. There's no missing piece. You know what it is, and it's that what you're observing plays it's logical that what you're observing would come up more often than what you're imagining, especially when it has to do with money. Money touches you in so many ways. So it's like that unpleasant friend that just walks around with you everywhere you go and wants to talk to you. And it's hard for you to keep positive thoughts in your mind because you've got this negative friend who just wants to keep talking negative. And you just wish they'd fall off a bridge, but they won't. They just go everywhere with you, and you just can't shake loose of them. And so you have to make a decision that you're going to sever that friendship for a while. And so when the thought about money comes up, you just look at it and say, hey, I told you I'm not talking to you. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. You're a downer. You bring me down and you keep me out of the vortex. In other words, find some way of making it vivid and real to you. And what we're talking about is determination. What we're talking about is decision. What we're talking about is focus. What we're talking about is willpower. What we're talking about is focusing your mind to the criteria that matters more. And what we want to convey to you is the vortex matters way more than the physical reality. But boy, is that ever a hard sell. Because you all have been so intoxicated about reality. You and almost everybody you know just divides reality up into all kinds of piles and talk about it incessantly. Do you know you even have historical piles? And historical monuments where you keep stirring up stuff that you don't want to repeat in your life experience. So we're like you, we get it, we understand, and law of attraction helps you keep thinking those thoughts. The thought you think brings another thought. In other words, so this is the easy way, the blunt way of saying it to you. You are right now a cooperative component to out of the vortex thoughts. And that's why they keep coming. There's no missing piece, it's just that's what's more active. We've been saying for a while, when you pick up any subject, money, health, relationship, the house I live in, the car I drive, the body I walk around in, when you pick up any subject, it has an end of what you don't want and an end of what you do want. And when you activate the subject, it starts buzzing right where you last left it. So when you talk about money, it buzzes where it's been. When you talk about money, it buzzes where it's been. When you talk about money, it buzzes where it's been. Now, the whole time it's buzzing, it's throwing more into the vortex. So that's one advantage of keeping it stirred up, because more money is accumulating that you're depriving yourself of.